What you doing, dogs? What you doing, dogs? What's up, everybody? So it is the weekend and we are going to change the throttle body. Now I know I said I was going to change the IPD plenum, but it's $1,000 and I don't have $1,000 to spend right now. So unless someone wants to send me an IPD plenum, that'd be awesome. So we're going to change the throttle body today, and then this afternoon, even though it's hot, we're going to head down to the DIY garage and we're going to go and change the transmission mount. So first things first, let me finish with the dogs here, and then we'll go in the garage where it's cool out of the sun, and we'll start on that throttle body. It's super easy. Also, before you even start, make sure you have hardware, gasket, throttle body. 7mm. Get in there. I always loosen that clamp more than I need to, so I can slide this out of the way, and then I can pull the boot off. Pull this out of the way. Pull that out. Airbox out. Put the airbox over here. There we go. Pull that out. Pull this out of here. Squeeze those clips. Pull that off. Careful with this line because it flexes a little, but it's a hard line. It's a hard plastic line, so don't break it. This corner of the gasket is just sitting there. It wasn't really in. I mean, it is in, but it's not. It didn't seem like it was really fully sealed. There's some debris right here on this corner, but the gasket's not broken. It actually doesn't look like it's in bad shape at all. Inside of plenum is very clean. This is the one I just took off. Here in my hand, listen. That's the gears. It's a brand new one. And actually the old one's not even that dirty. There's a new one. We put it this way, just like that. Old one, new one. New one, nothing. I'm pushing on it, same force. Nothing, no play, zero play. Let's clean this up first, and then we'll install this new gasket, and I gotta find out what the torque is for those bolts. A lot of people say that the IPD plenum does nothing, that the factory plenum is just fine. The reason they say that is because the size of it. This is 83mm. Look at that. I can fit my fist right through there. That is a pretty big entrance right there. I went back and looked at the removal or the torque values, and one thing it told me to do was to loosen this bolt. And you don't have to pull it off, you just loosen it, and then you can pull this out of the way. The torque, I'm going to show you on the screen right now. So the torque for each one of these bolts is 10 Newton meters, and this one, this right here, is 6 Newton meters. And the way it goes in is, you can see the impression on it. It goes like so, like that. seated in there good. I'm trying to put that little tip perfectly in the middle. Put those two through there. All torqued, those are torqued, that's torqued. We can reconnect this. Oh, nice positive click, I like that. Get that away. All right, so it looks like it works. I guess I should have done this before I installed the airbox. I should have measured these. So let me zero out my digital caliper. So you see it says 0. So the long axis says it's 83.3. Okay, well, back to 0. 83.5. I'm gonna go back to 0. Yep. So 83.3, 83.5. Only difference is this one's used, so it probably has, this is probably worn down a little bit, I don't know, machining, etc. Alright, I just had to fight it a little bit. What's happening was this side wasn't going in, it was staying higher. So I pulled it back off, installed this corner first, got this lined up, and once I did, this side dropped right back down. Now, this is exactly why I also loosened this clamp as loose as I did, so I can do that. So what I like to do is I like to put it right under this, under here, put my finger on it, and then I can just tighten it with the drill. Super easy. Done. Piece of cake. Look around, make sure this clamp is all the way, the boot is all the way around the throttle body. It appears to be. And do not forget, I did this before, your connection to your mass airflow sensor. Done. The only thing really to do is to go for a test drive and know if it works. All right, this visual test drive. Let's see. Should have turned off the CarPlay. Starting the car first. All right, it's idling. Let's go for a test drive. So my symptoms were that whenever I'm driving, mostly when it's cold, once it's warmed up, it was fine, or still did it a little bit, but it was very subtle. Mostly doing it when it was cold. My symptom is, as I'm driving, I let off the throttle, the car would, almost like it's choking a little bit, like if you were first learning how to drive a stick shift car, a manual transmission car, and you got the clutch in too much, that's what it felt like. Which could be just clutch related, could have nothing to do with the throttle body. Now I did 0 programming. When you order this online, it says programming required. I did 0 programming, I just did plug and play. So I'm right after this first speed bump is when I really noticed it. So let me slow down, speed bump. All right, I'm on the throttle, and I let off. Still doing it. Let's try that again. So I may have just wasted my money. It still feels exactly the same. It could still be the throttle body because now this throttle body has no play in it, so the ECU has to relearn how to adjust the fuel air mix. It could be that. It does seem to be a little bit better on the acceleration. This will be a little smoother. Yeah, now it's smooth. I just let off the throttle now and it's nice and smooth. Maybe it just needed to relearn. Oil temp is below 150. Coolant just now got to 175. Actually, yeah, it's a lot smoother now. Maybe it just needs to relearn. Regardless, we're gonna show you the reset procedure here in just a second as soon as I pull back in the driveway. Here's my iCar soft scan tool. All right, so let me hang this on here. I love my carbon fiber steering wheel. So we will go to services, enter, and there is electronic throttle control. So we'll hit enter, and we want to go down to Porsche. This one you can put 10 different cars. These are just the cars that I have programmed on there. Enter again. Loading. I have the car off right now. I probably gotta turn it on. Let's see here. So we want 997. Turn ignition on. Okay. Ignition coming on. Ignition's on. All right. And then it says press F2 for OK. F2 is right here. Communicating. Enter adaptive values. I don't want to do that one because I don't know what the adaptive values are, but system adaptation. The following throttle adaptation can be performed even if the environmental control, let's say, the environmental conditions for automatic adaptation have not been met. Turn off engine, switch ignitions on. It is, so we'll press OK. Press brake and accelerator at the same time. So we will. And then you just press OK, F2. And communicating, please wait. And don't let go of the brake and the accelerator because that will interrupt this adaptation. Basically what it's doing is the car has learned how to drive how you drive. So by doing this, it's erasing that and sending it back to a factory default. So right now, it knows you have your foot on the brake and the throttle is wide open. And we're just waiting. You're waiting, you're waiting, we're waiting, you're waiting. Adaptation application complete. F2, press OK. So now you can let go of the brake in that and you can back out of here. I'll show you what this first one is. I'm not gonna do it though. It says erase adaptation values, right? If I hit enter, it gives you a warning. Deleting adaptation values will change how the engine runs. Adaptation values can only be deleted upon instruction following repairs. A value must be created. I'm assuming that's a value. Must be created before deleting adaptation values. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to hit back. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, I am absolutely sure I want to abort it. We don't want to do that because I don't know if that does anything or messes the car up. Now all we got to do is just drive the car, and the car is going to adapt and learn how you drive all over again with the new throttle body. The ECU learned how the air was coming in the previous throttle body that had that little bit of play in different gap. This new throttle body is very rigid, does not have that play, so it needs to relearn how to drive with this throttle body. Now we'll try this for a week and see if there's any progress. The one thing we are going to do this week is absolutely go change that. We're actually going to do it today. We're going to go change the transmission mount this afternoon in about 2 hours. So I just realized I forgot my microphones for when I'm in the shop, so I'll probably... Oh, you guys don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I just started mid-sentence. All right, thanks for watching. To everyone who's watched my previous videos, thank you. Welcome back. So if you just finished watching, I finished installing the throttle body on the Porsche. And actually, after driving a little bit, it does seem to be smoother. We're on the way to the Gearhead Garage, the DIY garage place, where I'm going to change the transmission mount on this car. The only thing that worries me about doing this is that maybe we get that transmission mount stuck either halfway in or halfway out and can't do anything with it. But the main goal of today is to change this transmission mount. So we've got traffic. It says I'll be there in 13 minutes, but it's red. So maybe it'll be a little bit longer. And I'm starving, so maybe I can hit a drive-thru on the way and grab something and eat while I drive. All right, see you in a couple minutes. Things did not go as planned. I did get the car to the garage. I had it up in the air, and I didn't shoot any content there because I was gonna start shooting content when I got to the point of changing the transmission mount, because you guys have seen the underside of the car. You know what it looks like. If you don't remember, this is what it looks like. All right, but there was a problem. let me get the dogs fed, and I'm going to show you exactly what why we couldn't use it. Display table. All right, brand new 9972. Here's the part number. This is the tool. So you know, tool fits around that. So that pulls through there. Okay. Here's the one end, and here's the other end. You see, one end is smaller on purpose because that is the end that's going to push that through the transmission. And then you're going to use these bolts. So this is where my mistake happened. I looked at this and I did not verify. I said, okay, yep, I have the right tools. When I got it here in my house, I never even checked it. I just looked at it, oh, yep. And I did just like this. I was like, oh, yep, that fits in there, slides in perfect, great. It's gonna work. Didn't think anything of it. Where is the problem? Well, if you put the pusher cap on there, those holes line up. That's great, no problem. So you know you can put bolts through there and push this through, like so. And if you put the bigger side, the receiving end on here, they're slotted, so the holes, you can make the holes line up, right? Great, no problem. So what's the problem? I'm gonna show you the problem. That fits through the center, no problem. It does not fit through there. It's bigger than the hole. Bigger than both by a lot. Okay, so what's that say? 7. Well, 7 is not gonna work. 9.8, almost 10. It's not on the bigger part. 10 to 7. So this is 3 millimeters larger than this. Now I know what you're gonna say, because it makes sense. What's the big deal? Go to a hardware store and get bolts that length, or rods that length, in the right diameter. I could, absolutely. But I paid for this special tool. And this special tool was supposed to be able to work on the 9972. This tool does not work on the 9972. Worst case scenario, we can't change it, and we just stick with function first inserts for the rest of the life of the car while I have it. That's what happened. That's why I don't have video content installing that. So transmission mount to be continued.